What is going on, everybody? My name is Jay, this is Unplayable, and today I'm going to be showing you what I call the great culling of 24. So I've got a crap load of games right here that are games that I am getting rid of and removing from my collection. I just want to share what games I'm removing and why. So I'm going to do this pretty quickly because there are a lot of games and I don't want this to be 5 hours long. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, the Grizzled and the expansion. Now, I actually really like this game. This game is awesome. But the reason I'm getting rid of this is because I now have the Armistice Edition, which is basically the same game. It doesn't have everything that's in the expansion, but it does have all of the miniatures and it has like a scenario system. So I decided I'm gonna get rid of these and keep the other version. Next up, we've got Truck Off. This is like a little food truck game. It was gifted to me and I never actually played it. So yeah, not much to say about it besides bye. Pocket Ops. This is actually a really cool game. It's tic-tac-toe, except every time you place a person on the board, it has a special ability that affects things. It's really short, it's really easy, simple to get into. It fits literally in your pockets. It says it takes 20 minutes. There's no way it takes 20 minutes, but it's a nice little 2-player small box game. I just I have too many games, so I'm having to get rid of stuff that was on the chopping block. Modern Art. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this. I am a sucker for good deals. This is $2. $2 on it. I bought this game for $2. A Reiner Knizia classic, of which they've made a bigger version of now. This is actually a cool little auction game. Gone. Bye. See ya. Hoax. This is a party style game. I do like party style games. I just don't want a million of them. This one doesn't do anything special for me, so got cut. Sunset Over Water. Now this is actually a pretty rare game and it's actually a very fun game. It's just, it doesn't do anything special compared to some of the other family weight games that I have. And I find myself starting to cut these smaller family weight style games to have a condensed few that I actually want to keep and would actually play multiple times over multiple sessions and it still stay fresh. Azul being one of those. So this one got the chopping block. It does have great artwork by Beth Sobel though. One Night Ultimate Vampire. I just mentioned it with Hoax. I only need to keep so many of these party style games. I'm keeping One Night Ultimate Werewolf. So this one is the one that's going. The Princess Bride Miracle Pill. I love Princess Bride, but this game's just not very good. Alien Frontiers. This is a dice placement game, like worker placement, except with dice. I have the Kickstarter edition with, this is not the Kickstarter edition, but I have the Kickstarter rocket spaceship dice, which are really cool. This game, there's a few things I really don't like about it. One of them is the rating spot that you can go and just like steal stuff from other players. It feels really weird to have in a Euro game, so that alone makes me not want it. Praga Kaput Regni. This is probably one of the harder culls that I'm making out of my collection. I really like Vladimir Sushi's games, and this is not a bad one. It has this cool system where you're going up these different tracks, and it has like built-in things where you like build this monument, whatever it's called, where you actually go up levels of the tracks. And then it has this cool action system where you're spinning this wheel around and it opens up different actions, or like different actions are better for you to take at a specific time. It just was a little convoluted and it felt like there weren't that many different strategies that you can take throughout the game. So this one hit the chopping block. Next up, we've got Elder Sign. Elder Sign is not a bad game. It's a very old game by Richard Lanius. It's very Ameritrashy for a Euro style game like Eldritch Horror and stuff. A lot of dice rolling, dice chucking, going around trying to complete objectives. It's a fine game. I've played this game a bunch and I think that is why I don't want it anymore, is I've just played it too much and it served its purpose and it's not really the style of game that I like anymore. So Elder Sign. Blackout Hong Kong from Alexander Pfister. This game is fine. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. It's just not super exciting to play. I've got a lot of Alexander Pfister's games and they all have very similar, at least a lot of them have similar mechanics with the card system. And this one does something like that from Maracaibo and Expedition New Dale or Oh My Goods. It just wasn't super exciting. The board is very bland, which I mean, makes sense since it's a blackout, but still, it didn't really excite me to keep it. So, hitting the old culling. Level 7 Omega Protocol. This is a very old game. Well, I say very old, but it came out a long time ago. It's got a cool system where you are either the aliens against all of the people that are the humans, or vice versa. And as the humans do things, they use adrenaline, and then the aliens feed off of the adrenaline. So the more that the humans do, the more the alien player will get to do. It's a cool system. I just have so many games like this that this one doesn't get played. So bye. Feudum, big box, heavy game, amazing artwork. I love this box cover. I love everything about the art design of this game. It's just way too heavy for what it does as a heavy Euro game that I don't want to keep it. Okay, next up we have Conan the Barbarian. This is a cool game. It's very similar to Level 7 Omega Protocol that I just talked about, which is ironic because I have so many one versus all games and those only hit the table so often. So I have to keep only the ones I feel like I'm gonna get played. I'm not getting this one played, like ever. It is a very cool system. There's like this river where as the hero, it's a one versus all where it's the baddie versus all the heroes. As the heroes use gems, which is their resources, the baddie gets gems, which they use as resources. So the more the heroes do, the more the baddies do. Cool system. I think the Conan is a cool theme. Just not keeping it. Onitama. This is a recent call because I just played it not too long ago. I got Mystic Mischief, which is a 2-player abstract chess-like game. It is longer than Onitama, but it fits that kind of abstract game that I'm looking for. I have a lot of abstract games that are 2 players, that are chess-like, which, you know what? I should probably add Santorini to this pile because I'm gonna cull that as well, but I don't have it down here. But I have games like that. This one, it's cool. I like it. I think other people will enjoy it more than I do, so I'm gonna pass it along to them. Proving Grounds. This is a solo-only game by Renegade Games in their Solo Hero series. This is from Kane Klenko, who is known for doing real-time strategy games. And this one is actually kind of fun. It is timed, so you have a certain amount of time to roll your dice and assign dice throughout the round to defeat people. Basically, you're in this like Coliseum fighting off different baddies. It's a cool concept. I just don't get it played, and I have many other solo games now that I'd rather play over this one. Same with a game called Unbroken, which was cold, but I've already sold it, so it's gone. But Unbroken is very similar to this. I now have Final Girl and many other like Kinfire Delve, so I'm gonna be playing those solo and not these. The Little Flower Shop. Now this is a game from Pencil First. Actually, it's not even Pencil First. It's just Dr. Finn's games. It's a drafting game where you're creating this kind of scenery at your window for your flower shop, and you want to score points based on different cards that you get. Cool concept, very light game. I actually like it. I bought it for dirt cheap, like $5. Like I said, I'm a sucker for deals, and this one got me. I actually played this one a few times and enjoyed it, but I have other games that are drafting games like this, Comic Hunters, and this one just gets the chop. Splendor. This is like the first edition, so it has all of the nice chip tokens. All of my cards are sleeved. I've played this one a crap load. It is a fun little engine building game. It's very distilled to simply just engine building. It's cool. I don't think I need to play it anymore. Nothing Personal. This game I bought simply because it was designed by Tom Vassell like 8 years ago, and literally never played it because it just never hit the table. This edition, this copy is actually super nice. All sleeved up, got the tuck boxes. I'm just, I haven't played it this long, and it's similar to Cosmic Encounter from what I hear, so I'd rather just play Cosmic Encounter. Catacombs. This is another hard cull for me. I have the expansion in here. I have everything sleeved up or printed out and put into this thing. I've got a nice little tackle box for all the pieces. This game is actually super fun. I like this game a lot. It's just, I don't get dexterity games played very much anymore, just in general. Am I keeping any dexterity games? I don't think I have any more dexterity games in my collection. So, if that says anything, I've just outgrown dexterity games. Attack on Titan. Now, I like the anime Attack on Titan, so this fits that theme. This is another one verse mini game. This one is actually shorter. It's from Antoine Baza, who is actually a very good designer. I don't even know the publisher of this game. And you can tell it's a new, it's Cryptozoic. You can definitely tell it's a Cryptozoic published because the design of like the packaging and everything is very terrible. The game is pretty fun. A lot of dice rolling, decent amount of luck based on that. It's got this cool system where you're going up and down the tiers of the Titan to try and deal damage to it. Not a bad game, just not one I'm getting played. You have to make culls. When you're culling, you have to just, if a game hasn't been played in over a year, it's like, all right, am I ever gonna play this game? So you gotta get rid of it so you can make space. And the name of the game for me was making space. I wanted to get rid of as many games as I could. Secondly, if you're interested in any of these games, hit me up. You will get a steal for these games. Trust me. Alhambra. This is another one that's a hard cull for me because I do like Alhambra, and it's the big box. I think the biggest thing for me as to why I'm culling this is because of the size of this freaking box. I don't want to have a box this big anymore. And I'm going to go ahead and bring the next one up. Carcassonne big box, same reason. I also don't play Carcassonne like I used to, but if you look in this box, it's huge for no reason. There's barely anything in here. Realistically, I could just take all the components out, put it in a tiny little like baggie and save space. But I figured someone would love to have this Carcassonne big box, so I'll pass it off to them. Lock up a role player tale. This was a hard cull for me. It's a worker placement game, except with the gimmick that a couple of your workers you get to place face down, and your workers have values on them. So as we go at the end of the round, after everyone's placed their workers, we go through and take those actions at those spots. But based on how much influence you have at each spot, the better the action is for you. So you can put stuff face down and try to trick your opponent into thinking you placed highly or placed lowly, all that kind of stuff. It's set collection. I think realistically, the biggest impact as to why I cut this is because one, it doesn't play well at 2 players. 2, it really is all about getting those last cards. Like everything you do before gaining the cards that give you points is literally just getting resources so you can buy those big cards at the end. And you don't really get that many points for anything else. So it felt kind of flat and not a ton of replayability. Here's a spicy one. We've got Root. Now I do have this is like the first edition. This is like one of the first editions. I do have the upgraded boards and the upgraded rulebook. I don't get this one played anymore at all because I have the app. So that's about it. One of the hardest culls in my collection, Circadian's First Light. I think a big impact as to why I'm calling this is because there's a new edition. And if I ever want to play this, I'll buy the new edition. But I don't get this one played very much. I love the artwork. I like the designers over at Garfield Games. This actually isn't a Garfield game, according to the box, but I think it is now. This was from Renegade, but it's from S.J. McDonald, who does a bunch of Garfield Games stuff. It's funny, they don't have Garfield on the box anywhere. So, but it's a cool game. If you like dice worker placement, this is a solid one, so check it out. I'm just not keeping it in my collection because I have so many games similar to it, and this one just doesn't hit the table. Agra, another one of those gotta steal. I got this for dirt cheap. This box is heavy, and this is a really expensive game, and I got it for cheap. It's supposed to be a heavy Euro game. I've never played it, and considering I bought this like 5 years ago, I don't think I'm ever gonna play it, so it's just taking up space for no reason. All right, As you can see on here, $5, Ursa Minor. Bought it from the Dice Tower library at Dice Tower Con because they get these review copies and they sell the ones that they don't want to keep. This is one of them. It's not a good game. Hanabi, I am not a fan of this game. Something about this game is just super cringe to me. I don't mind games like The Mine, which is like this, except this one is just, it's, what's the word for it? It's just snooty at this point, I think. And the fact that there's a meta where if you get rid of, like if you're having to get rid of a card in your hand, you get rid of the one furthest to the right, and then when you get a new card, you put it furthest to the left, so that you have some, like your teammates have an amount of time to tell you what it is before you end up discarding it. All these kind of weird meta rules, it just defeats the purpose of the game. And yeah. Pandemic Legacy Season 2. I think I mentioned I never finished this game, and I do not live anywhere near the people that I started the game with, so this is probably just gonna go into the trash. Star Wars Risk, the best version of Risk you'll ever play. I also have a little box in here for all the minis, and I upgraded the tokens for the Millennium Falcon and the Super Star Destroyer to actual toy figures that are actually really nice and pre-painted. It's just a 2-player game. I have a lot of 2-player games now, and this one is kind of chintzy, although I upgraded it a little bit. It's very chintzy production, and the game is pretty fun, but not fun enough for me while I keep it. This one's gonna go with another one I have somewhere around here. I have Fireball Island. Yep. Fireball Island Kickstarter edition with everything. I got rid of one of the boxes and just put it all into the Space Game box. This game is wicked. Like, just look at all that plastic. It's pretty fun. I just don't think I want to play it anymore. I got my nostalgia kick out of it and just don't want it anymore. So it's getting cold, and my dog also bit the packaging. So that's a major rip. Literal. No pun intended. All right, we're gonna zoom through these next ones. Star Realms. I have Hero Realms. Knoxford was given to me for free at a convention. I don't really like it that much. Bang the Dice game. It's not a terrible party game where you have hidden rolls, just not my favorite one anymore. I've played this one 50 times, so I'm kind of just over it. Friday, solo game, deck builder. It's too hard, and once you've played it a few times, you kind of get the gist. I also have the app. If I'm playing it solo and I have the app available, I'll just play it on my phone. Pit Crew, not a terrible Jeff Engelstein game, just not one I'm gonna be playing ever again. King Domino Duel, it's a roll and write. I really don't like the production of it, and it's not nearly as fun as regular King Domino, so it's hitting the pile. Coup, I'd rather play Love Letter. Armadora, actually not that bad of a game, but it's super terrible production, and like I can play other games that do it but better. Flip City, deck builder where you're actually flipping the cards around. It's got a cool concept. I'm just over it. Kinjin, it's this weird scoring game where you have neighbors and you gotta do things. I haven't played it in a long time, so I don't remember exactly how it plays, but I remember not liking it very much. All right, Shadows over Camelot from Days of Wonder. I have games similar to this one, like Dead of Winter, that I like better. Not to say this is a bad game. This is a very classic game for Days of Wonder. I just don't play it anymore. It's kind of mid for me now, and it's worth a lot of money, and it's out of print, so I'm just gonna cash in on that. This War of Mine, cool theme, cool game. Just played the digital version, not of the board game, but the actual digital video game instead of playing this, because this is overly complicated for what it is. It's cool, and if you invest in it, it definitely returns. I just don't want to invest in it. Rattle Battle Grab the Loot from Ignacy Trevijek, Portal Games. I got it for like free, I think, either free or like $5. I think I got it for free with purchase of another game. So, Origins from Board and Dice. I did not like this game very much at all. I bought it on a whim and it did not pay off. Expedition to Everdale. I love this game, I've played through the solo campaign more than once. I've played this game with other players a bunch. I think I've just outplayed it. So it's hitting the coal. Sheriff and Nottingham. Now this is a game I've had so much fun with. One thing, my family lives across the street. They own a copy of it, so I don't need it anymore. But also I've played the crap out of this game. So if I never played it again, I wouldn't be mad, but knowing that they have a copy, I feel like I can get rid of it safely. Magic Maze. I'm actually gonna give this one to my family across the street because they love this game. So I'm not really losing it, but I'm still making the space. Munchkin and Munchkin Adventure Time. I don't think I really need to say much here. It's Munchkin. Bloodborne, the card game. I might give this one to my family across the street. They like games like this, kind of like Libertalia and crap. And my brother really likes Bloodborne and Dark Souls and stuff, so maybe I'll give it to him. It's from Eric Lang. Not a terrible game, just one that I probably haven't played in 4 years, so like, why am I still holding on to it? Another Eric Lang game, and this one's actually signed by him. Arcane Academy. A decent little tile placement game. I'm just over tile placement games right now, so this one's gone. Trails of Tucana. Little roll and write. Not really roll and write, flip and write. I'm giving it to my family across the street, so because they love this game. I've played this one a lot too. This one is one that I've overplayed, so that's probably part of the reason I'm getting rid of it. Porta Nigra. This is from Wolfgang Kramer and Michael Kiesling. Two of my favorite designer, or one of my favorite designer duos. They've done games like Paris and many other games, Mexico, etc. This one's not bad. It's a little rondel going around game. The box is really thick. I haven't played in a long time. It's really bland theme, bland box cover, bland components, except for the little things you're stacking up. And for all those reasons, I think are reasons why I'm getting rid of it. I also got this really cheap, so I don't feel bad for having only played it a few times and then dumping it. I got it for like $5. Trismegistus. It's another board and dice game that I fell victim to. I took a shot in the dark and it didn't pay off. It's overly complex. It's a very heavy game physically and heavy rules wise, so I'm getting rid of it. Solenia. This is from the dude who did Black Angel and Twa. It's actually a neat little game where it's got this platformer style thing where as you go further, the boards flip over and it keeps you going. It's a cool concept. It's a very, very light game. I've played it, I don't know, maybe 5 times, and it doesn't have a lot of variability to it, so I feel like I've seen it. All right, The River from Days of Wonder. I like the artwork, the production is nice. It's a very light worker placement game. Similar to Solenia, just doesn't have a lot of replayability. Parfum. The box is too big for what it should be. There's not very much in here. It's a decent little worker placement game, very light again. Similar reasons to Solenia and River. It's getting cold. Flashpoint Fire Rescue. I have a lot of cooperative games, and if I'm playing a cooperative game, I'd rather just play one of those than this one. Art of War, dice roller game where you're trying to match kind of like Yahtzee style on dice, and if you match onto them, then you get to take it, and you can take it from other players as well. If you don't match anything, you end up getting nothing for the turn. It's not terrible. It's from Reiner Knizia. Yeah, Reiner Knizia. It's fine. I just can't keep a ton of small box games. Undo, played it. It's like an escape room. Once you've done it, you've done it. Kanagawa, I played this one recently and realized how bad it's aged, so that is why. Silk, Devere Games, one of the first Devere games I ever played. It's fine. The rulebook is absolutely terrible. That's all I'm gonna say. Imperial Settlers, the reason this is getting cold is because I have the app, and I play this game mostly solo because it's basically a solitaire game. And the best part about it is that it has the solitaire campaign that you can play through all these very different things, and you can do that on the app. Strike. I'm giving this to my neighbors because they loved it when we played it. Villainous. This is a hard cull. I'm keeping the Star Wars version and I'm getting rid of all of the other ones. I know people love this game. I understand why, and it's kind of hard for me to cull it because I have so much of it. It's a 2-player game that you can play with more players, which is really dumb. I don't think this should play more than really 2 players, to be honest with you. Especially not 5 and 6. That's terrible. Yeah, but it's getting cold. I'm gonna start running out of room. Next stack, Radlands. This one is obvious if you watch my Gen Con haul. I got the Deluxe Fight Edition. I played it this morning with my wife over coffee. Steam Court, I actually know the designers of this game. They're super nice people over at Tantrum House. And this game is not bad. It's a decent little trick-taking game. But to get the full experience for what this box provides, you need to have like 12 people. And if you're doing that, you're doing it at a convention. So I feel like if I ever wanted to play this, I could have someone bring it or get it at the convention's library and try it. Mafia de Cuba. I think my family across the street has this game. If they don't, I'll give them my copy because they really like this party game. I actually think this one is really well done as well. It's probably one of my favorite party games, but I'm gonna give it to them and essentially not really losing it. Lost Cities, it's okay. I've played it a fair amount with my wife. We like it, but we've played it so much, we're like, do we need to play it anymore? Chimera Station. This one is a hard one to call. From TMG, you can't get this anymore, so it's probably pretty expensive. I should look it up. It's a worker placement game where you're actually upgrading and changing your workers, and they do different things based on how you've engineered them. It's a cool concept, very point salad-y, but fun game. Deadwood. This was given to me a long time ago. I haven't ever played it, and because I haven't pulled it off the shelf to play it, clearly I don't have the interest, so it's hitting the whole shelf, the old giveaway. Next stack, we got Calico. Number 1, my idiot brother spilt water all over the tiles, so that's one reason I'm getting rid of it. Although the tiles, they're still fine. We dried it immediately. You can't really tell that they got water on them, but I know. I also don't really care for this tile placement game anymore. I like the other one better, Circadia, I think is what it's called. No, not Circadia. I can't remember the name of it. I don't own that one though, so I am just, in general, over tile placement games. There's way too many of them. Concept, this is a cool party game. I'm giving Calico and this one, and Flip Ships, which is a cool little King Klinko flicking game where you're trying to land ships onto ships to kill them, kind of Galaga style. Giving these all to my family across the street because they like them. Mars Open is a tabletop golf game where you're flicking and trying to get a hole in one. For concept, I have the playmat, which is cool, so getting rid of that. Deception, Murder in Hong Kong with the expansion and promos from Dice Tower. It's a cool game. I really like this one. My sister absolutely loves it. She has all this stuff, so I don't need it because every time I play it, I'm playing it with her, so I'll use her copy. Castle of Verona, mid party style game. Playing it. I'm not going to show my wife this one because she loves playing this game. She doesn't know I'm getting rid of it, but we haven't played it in a long time. It's a cool little magnet game where you're placing tiles around this whatever you would call this thing. And they have magnets and you place them onto the thing. And you're trying to basically not convince, but like cater to different animals and their types of environments that they need to live in. It's fine. I'm just, like I said, tile placement games, I own a million of them. So they really gotta be doing something for me to want to keep it. Lords of Vegas. This one I've owned for a very long time and I've played it a lot. I have all the different player pieces in these little boxes. I have poker chips instead of the money that comes with it. I have sleeves on the cards. This is one that is kind of nostalgic for me because I used to kill this game with my game group back when I was like in college and before. It's not, I don't know why I'm getting rid of it. I just don't play it anymore. And I think that's about the extent. I just don't really play it that much anymore. Council 4, this was given to me. I hear it's terrible, so I never played it. First Martians. This was a game that I got for like 10 bucks on Amazon one day. And I tried to learn how to play it, and it's just way too heavy. It's way too much for what it is. Way too much. So that's why I'm getting rid of that one. Eldritch Horror, also given to me. I've played it. It's a fine game. It's like Elder Sign, except bigger, in my opinion, anyway. It's just way too long. Way too long. All right, we're getting there. Railroad Inc. I have a ton of roll and write games. This one doesn't really do anything special for me anymore. I've played it a bunch. Diamonds, decent little trick-taking game. I have a dozen trick-taking games, so it's really got to be a good one for me to keep it. Codenames Pictures, I'm so over Codenames. King Domino, my family owns it across the street. If I ever want to play it, I'll just grab theirs. Robits, free game from a convention, not fun. Cottage Garden, actually a good game. I've said it a million times in this video. Tile placement, and especially polyomino tile placements. Indian Summer, same reason. Manara, a cooperative dexterity game. I'm just not super into dexterity games anymore. And the last time I played it, it fell flat pretty hard. Escape the Cursed Temple. This is actually a super fun game. I have an expansion for it somewhere around here. I've played the crap out of this game, and I think that leads to me not playing it that much anymore. Harry Potter the Deck Builder. I've played through the entire campaign twice. If I want to play Deck Builder, I'm playing a different one now. This is an expansion for Robinson Crusoe. I've played quite a few scenarios. I talked about this in my BGG top rankings. It just doesn't hit the table like it should. It's too long, way too complex. The FAQ is 80 pages, so there you go. The City of Kings. This game is huge, literally huge. And it's very heavy. It's one that you have to invest in. I have too many games that I already have to invest in it to get the full experience. So this one is not good enough for me to want to do that compared to some of the others. Escape Quest, this is the second expansion for Escape. I'm getting rid of it because I'm getting rid of Escape. Harry Potter the Deck Builder expansion, same reason. Vegas Showdown, they're coming out with a new edition, so if I ever wanted it, I'll get the new edition because this edition is terrible production. It's a decent game. I got it for super cheap, 10 bucks. Its sticker is still on it. First and Goal, this was given to me. Never played it, still in shrink. Zombicide Black Plague, I'm just kind of over Zombicide in general. In this box in particular, it's like once you've played all the scenarios a few times, you don't need to play it anymore. The last games, King of Tokyo, the new version and the old version because I wanted to have all the different characters. I have the power-ups for all the characters, and I have several promo characters that exist. Game was fun back in the day. I played it a bunch in college, kind of like how I played Lords of Vegas, and I just don't play it anymore. So this may be one I give to my family across the street. Well, there you have it. That is the culling. Oh, hold on. I have two Black Plague, Zombicide Black Plague promos that I think are pretty expensive and hard to get. All right, now that's it. That's the culling. I will probably have more games I'm getting rid of, but like I said, if you're interested in any of these, I will give you an absolute steal. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and all the games. See y'all in the next one. Bye.